Hello everyone. Today we are going to understand what is quicksort and we'll understand how this is implemented. So basically the basic idea behind quicksort is to put the elements in their sorted places. An element is in its sorted place if the elements on its left hand side is smaller than that and the element on its right hand side are larger than it. So if suppose I'm having an array 6, 5, 8, 9, 2, 3, 12 and 16. So the first element is considered as the pivot element over here and the last element is considered as infinity. It is some maximum or highest number like 10,000 or some huge number greater than all the elements in this array. So this algorithm works in pass. So let us see how the pass one executes for this problem. Let's suppose I'm having two values, low and high. So I can say, let's suppose my starting value is low and the end value is high. And I'm giving some name to this variable. So I can say the low is ith variable over here and high is the jth variable over here. So what I have to do is I have to traverse my I till I get a value that is greater than this pivot element. So now you can see that my pivot element is 6 and I'm going to traverse my I till I find an element that is greater than my pivot element. If you see 5 is element less than 6, 8 is the element that is greater than 6. So now my 8 become my ith variable. Similarly, I am going to traverse J till I get a value smaller than my pivot element. So if I traverse it in my array, I see that 3 is the value that is less than 6. Now, as my I and J variable are such that I is less than J, so I have to exchange these elements at I and J position. So the next sort of values that I would be getting will be 6, 5, 3 will be taking the place of 8 and 8 will be taking the place of 3. So this becomes 3, 9, 2, 8, 12, 16 and infinity. Now my ith variable is at the position where 3 is over here and my jth at this position. Again, it will traverse. So my I will traverse till I get a value greater than my pivot element. Still my pivot element is 6. I am traversing and the next value that I get is 9. 9 is greater than 6. And I'm also traversing J till I get a value less than 6. So while traversing 2 becomes my new J element. Now since I is again less than J, I have to swap these both values. So the next set of values that I would be getting is 6, 5, 3, 2, 9, 8, 12, 16 and infinity. My ith element is over here and jth element is over here. Again, I have to traverse my array till I find an element that is greater than 6. So now my I becomes this element since 9 is greater than 6 and my jth elements become this since 2 is less than 6. Now I have seen that my I becomes greater than j. At this point, I exchange the values at jth location and pivot element. So I can say that over here, the new set of values that I would be getting is 2, 5, 3, 6 getting to its sorted position, 9, 8, 12, 16 and infinity. Now let us check that is my pivot element is in its sorted position. So if I see the elements that are present on left hand side are less than 6 and the elements that are present on my right hand side is greater than 6. So I can say that my pivot element has been put on its sorted place. This is how my pass 1 has ended. In my pass 2, what I get are two trees or two arrays. So my problem has split into two parts where I was having the elements 2, 5 and 3 and the next array was having the values 9, 8, 12 and 16. So now the same partition that we have just done for my pass 1 will be executed for this array. When this array will get sorted, then by partition algorithm will be executed for this part of the array. So now if I write a pseudocode for my partition algorithm, I can say that if the name of my problem is partition, I am taking two values as initial values, or I have to pass two values, the values of low and high. And first of all, I select a pivot element. So the pivot element is always the value at the A low. Next, I have to find my I and j values. So I can say I is my low element, j is my high element. Now I have to traverse my I till I get a value greater than the pivot element. So I can say that do increment I till you get an element which is greater than equals to your pivot element. Similarly, I can say that decrement your j till you find an element that is less than your pivot element. Now, if your value of I is less than j, then you have to perform a swap operation between these elements ai and aj. The elements of I and j location get swapped. So the whole process works till my I is less than j. So I can say that this whole process will continue till my I is less than j. So now what happens when my ith value becomes greater than j? Then a swapping between the pivot element and the jth variable occurs, and I return this j variable to the function that is calling it. So now I have to see what is the time complexity of my partition algorithm. We can see that while traversing my array, I am traversing all the elements in my array one time. So I can say that partition algorithms take time complexity as order of n. Because at every step or at every pass, you are traversing n elements. Now let us see our algorithm for quicksort. Now in quicksort, we are performing two things. First, we are creating a partition. That partition divides my tree into two portions, left hand side and right hand side. Then recursively, I call quicksort on both the partition. So I can say that my algorithm quicksort takes two values, low and high, that are passed to my partition algorithm, and my partition algorithms return a value. So I can say that value has been stored in j. This whole process is continued till my low value is less than my high variable. So I can say that if my low is less than high, then only you call the partition algorithm on the elements of your array. When you get two parts of the tree, then you call quicksort algorithm recursively for both the parts of the tree. So first I'm going to call my partition for left hand side of the tree, and then I'm going to call quicksort algorithm for right hand side of tree. Now to find the time complexity of quicksort, I can say that if my quicksort take Tn as a function of n, then my quicksort, this one becomes n by 2 since it is a partition of a tree, and this also becomes Tn by 2. We also know that the partition algorithms take n units of time. So the total recurrence relation that I am getting is Tn equals to Tn by 2 plus Tn by 2, 2Tn by 2 plus n for all the values of n that are greater than 1. And for the values of n equals to 1, I say Tn becomes 1.